Welcome, everybody. Merry Christmas. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are around this wonderful globe. So Merry Christmas to each and every single person celebrating this joyous day. KJ, obviously you're celebrating it as well.
Yes,
Merry
man.
Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone who is celebrating and enjoying this festive period. Outside of football, it's good for me. You know what I mean? I got my family, got my friends. We're having a great time over here. So yeah, Merry Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas to you, Terry.
Thank you. And look, one of the reasons we wanted to do the stream today is got a few announcements to bring regarding the Football Terrace and our future. We want to have a little bit of a discussion, a bit of football talk, of course, looking at some of the biggest achievements and flops and funny parts from 2024, make some predictions for the next 12 months as well. At the same time, I wanted to start by just saying a big thank you to each and every single person who tunes into the Terrace daily, weekly, monthly. Some of you, maybe it's only annually, I don't know, but so many of you, hundreds of thousands every single month, come back time and time again. And it's humbling. It's amazing at the same time. And I just wanted to thank you. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We've already started new membership programs like no other channel has out there. And as KJ will tell you, there's so much more coming in 2025 for the Football Terrace.
Yeah, there's loads of ideas that we've got, and I know sometimes it feels like, when is the new stuff coming? We've had to be patient to make sure it could be the best that it could be. We didn't want to just launch new things and have no real backing or plan to make sure they're good for the long term and the short term as well. So yeah, we're excited to bring those to you as well. Thank you for your patience, and I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy what we've got in store for you guys.
Do you know what's really, really funny about it is we've had obviously conversations with people for over a year about some of these plans. And most of the reason we've had to delay everything has had nothing to do with us and what we wanted to do. Sometimes it's been, we've got to buy a person out of the business first. Other times it's been, look, there's no point starting X until we have Y on board, and Y's taken maybe 6 months longer than we expected. So we've had to delay so much. And honestly, I would say the last 18 months has been a time that's tested my patience more than any other, because I want to tell people about what we've got planned. Do you know what it is? It's not even about it not happening and being disappointed. The biggest reason I don't say anything is because we've got some great ideas. I just don't want some of the big channels. When I say big channels, I'm talking the Sky Sports and the overlaps. Some of the stuff we've got planned will get stolen by people if we talk about it too early. So we have to hold it all in. But yeah, it's going to be a remarkable 2025. We've got a few things coming, some of which are going to shock people, and I think in a positive way. But I'll say ahead of time now, and it'll make sense in the future. The reason for doing this is safeguarding the terrace, growing the terrace, and hopefully fulfilling my biggest ambition with this company is to employ more and more people, to give back to the individuals that have helped us. KJ is one of those people, of course. We give a lot of money away now. Not money away. I'm afraid that we pay a lot of people to be our panelists on our shows, which is something 2 or 3 years ago we couldn't afford to do. And we want to just try and take that to another level. And that's why I'm focusing so hard on that, because I just want to give back to the people that have really helped me change my life. So yeah, we've got some big stuff coming in 2025. I can't say any more about it than that due to the contracts and things going on. But when they come, I'm sure some of you are going to be massively surprised, but I hope it's going to be a pleasant surprise at the same time. So yeah, very, very excited. And I will let you know that I'm not taking over on Match of the Day. That's not what it is. It's not. It's not that. Not that anybody thought it was. It's a bit of a joke. In terms of the football, they start on 2024, because I think it's sensible to start there. Really, I'm going to start with always a fun one for me. Who has been, in your opinion, and it can be a player, a manager, a team, who has been the biggest flop of 2024, the biggest letdown? Who has fouled Fraud Watch for 2024?
Man, Fraud Watch. This one was a tough one because I was split between a team and 2 players. So yeah, I was going to say them, and then I think everyone understands. So for the first for the team that I thought failed 2024, which obviously we both know it pains us, but it's Manchester United, I think, failed 2024. And yes, we came out with the FA Cup, but with the expectations of being in the third, well, technically it was the second season of a manager, going into a third season of a manager. You've just won a Carabao Cup. You just became third in the Premier League. There was a lot more to be expected for this Man United side, like last season and going into this season. And it just went horribly wrong, finishing 8th in the league, 13th in the league currently. It's just been, as a year, it's been a horrible, horrible year. And the FA Cup is nice and it was a beautiful day, but it's not kicked us on anywhere. So I would say for my team, it was that. For my it was Man United. For my first player, it was Marcus Rashford. Again, similar to why it failed with Man United.
Oh, the pain, mate. The pain.
It hurts me to say it. It hurts me to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
Same reason for Man United. It's the same reason for Rashford. Man came off the back of a 30-goal season 2 seasons ago. World at his feet. Things were going good. New contract. And he stunk out the gaff for a whole year. And now he's being forced out. Now he's being maligned. Now he's being hunted down in the media. Like the whole thing with Rashford has just gone horrible, especially with the beautiful beginning he had. It's not getting into the story that I wanted. So yeah, Rashford. And my final one, I want to keep this quick because we've got to go through some things, is that on the other side of Manchester is Jack Grealish. Listen, listen. You can't. I don't care. He's won I know he's won a treble, and I know he's won 2 Premier Leagues or 3 Premier Leagues, Man City, whatever it was. I don't really care. The man has not scored a goal for an entire year. We were just talking about Marcus Rashford. He's at least got 10 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
In a worse team.
Jack Grealish has done niche. Injury. The most thing that he's done is be drunk. That is it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I love Jack, but yeah, nah.
Yeah, listen, I hear you on some of them. If I'm picking a team, I get Man United, but I'm throwing England in there. I feel we got to a Euros final, but I think the FA bottled it at the beginning of 2024. We should have gone for a better manager. I think that Southgate did a brilliant job bringing the country back together, galvanizing the squad, getting the right culture, all of those things. There's a reason that he doesn't want a manager job now, Southgate, and he wants to kind of do more a board role. I think he's good at that. I think he's proven he can do it. But when it came to that final again, I still think we had the players to do better, to perform better, but we didn't have the coach. We didn't have the tactics. We didn't have the system in place. So I look at England and I think it's not been very often in my lifetime that you could genuinely hand on heart say England's squad and the talent we have in this country right now compared to other nations. So I'm not comparing it to generations gone by. I'm just comparing it to
the time
too many minutes pies, the time we're in. Right now, like Spain just won the Euros. Some people say their squad's better than ours. You've got France, and I get the argument. But we're in the top 2 or 3. And I think if people were to just purely base it on talent, England's coming in right near the top. And I just don't think we have performed well enough. Yes, we got to a final, but still the amount of games we scraped by. Yeah. And the reason we scraped by them is because we have the better players. If we would have had the right system playing the right football, I think it could have been a much, much better tournament. And if I'm going to pick a player, look, Rashford's been on your list. Grealish is on your list. They were on mine. Do you know what I'm going to throw in the mix? Darwin Núñez. And do you know why I'm going with Darwin Núñez? Listen, he scored more goals than a lot of other strikers that you would say are worse than him. But like I say, you can be the best in the world, but be overrated because people might say best left back in the world. He's as good as Maldini. Suddenly you've gone from you're brilliant, you are world class, but now you're being overrated because you're not as good as Maldini. When it comes to looking at fraud watch for Darwin Núñez, he's playing in a brilliant team that is going from strength to strength. He's had the media behind him. He's had ex-pros behind him. He's got all the support in the world, and he still hasn't got better. So for me, I look at it and think to myself, I would have gone Grealish number 1, but you already took that. So for me, I'm throwing Darwin Núñez into that mix. I know a lot of Liverpool fans like him. He's a bit of a cult hero, but I think to myself, imagine being the number 9 in a team that's the best in the world right now. and you look so out of place. Genuinely, like he sticks out like a sore thumb with how bad he is compared to his teammates. So yeah, fraud watch from me. I'm going to go with Darwin Núñez. Viewers, let us know who you think and you feel. Now, best player. Now, this could be the person you think has been the best player, or it could be the player that has broken through, the player that has impressed you the most over the calendar year of 2024. So it could either be I'm picking Rodri because he's the best player in the world, or it could be I'm picking player X because of what he did. So it could be something in isolation. Who would you pick as your standout player for 2024? And if you pick my guy, I'm going to be pissed. But go on.
We picked the same guy. I know it. There's only one guy for this award for the best player 2024. And that is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer.
We haven't picked the same person.
No, we picked the same guy.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Cool.
For me, Cole Palmer in 2024 for an emerging talent has been phenomenal. Like, he has been up there with some of the very best players in the world. And rival fans were trying to play it down for a while, especially when he first came to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh, why they bought in 40 million overspent, Man City reject. So do all these different things. You've got to a point now where you can't deny him. Normally, that point comes after like 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons. Rivals get on this player. It's like, fair enough. He's doing his thing, and you gotta respect it. The man, within a space of a year, stopped everyone to the point where he should start for England over Foden, over Saka, over any other player that you could think of. He is the guy, and I know what I hear it. He comes on to get the assist to help get us through to the final for England against Netherlands. He then scores in the Euros final. He gets the most goals and assists in the Premier League as a single player. It is crazy the season that he had and the 2024 he's had, and he's just going to get better and better. And yeah, man, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I am riding out for this guy week in, week out. Like, I see it, man. He is a special talent.
He is special. He's very special. And there's loads of players I was thinking about for my standout performer. And as I said, viewers, you can pick maybe the person you think was the best. It could be someone who's done something you think is quite unique or different. It could be a breakthrough player, and we'll get onto that. The best thing Palmer's done is, I remember the start of this season, there was he won't do as well as this season as last year. I think he started the season a little slowly. Oh, has he been found out? He got better. He's still doing it. And that for me is the most impressive thing. So far, it doesn't look like a flash in the pan, one season wonder approach. Very, very good indeed. Superstar player. And Chelsea have, listen, for £40 million, it's one of the bargains in Premier League. It will go on to be considered, because maybe you could argue he's not won anything yet and it's still early days. But I have a gut feeling that by the time Palmer leaves Chelsea, whether it's to another club or retirement, he'll be looked at as one of the bargains in Premier League football history. I know 40 million sounds a lot, but most top attackers that score an assist and produce at his rate are 150 million pound. He is cheap for how good he is. Other players that were on my list, of course, Rodri was there. Ballon d'Or winner in 2024. Helped City do the 4-peat, helped Spain get to the final. They won the final without him on the pitch, but I don't know if they'd have been as good throughout the whole tournament without him. He's phenomenal, and a lot of people will pick him, and I understand why. And I get it, and I respect it. I truly do. I also thought about Bukayo Saka. I thought about Mo Salah. Both of them have had phenomenal 2024, especially the back end of it for Mo Salah. Bukayo Saka, again, just Mr. Consistent. Both of them brilliant. But the player that I've picked was a breakthrough star, because I'm only looking at it from my point of view. And the reason for this, people understand, we're going to try and do this show annually moving forward. And you'll see the second half of the show is us giving our predictions for 2025. And I was saying this a year ago, we just didn't do this show. But for me, my standout player, because of his breakthrough performances in 2024, is Kobbie Mainoo. So he didn't make his proper debut until around like November time last year. And between then and the end of the season, he helped United win games, was dominating midfield battles. In, by the way, an awful system that was being ripped to shreds most weeks, but he would still stand out as a top performer. He got an England debut, played his way into the England first team, helped England get to a final. His semi-final performance was amazing. Wasn't so great in the final, admittedly, but the kid's 18 at the time. But he also helped United, one of the worst United teams we've ever seen, get to a FA Cup final. And at 18 years old, he picks up a man of the match performance and scores the winning goal in an FA Cup final. So for me, in terms of breakthrough seasons, I'm going to stick with this young man. The reason I've also gone for him, I feel in the last few weeks, the level of scrutiny towards him has been it's been horrendous. It's been terrible. Anybody that didn't like him when he first broken through has now had the opportunity. By the way, it was one bad performance against, who did we play at the weekend? Bournemouth.
Yeah.
He came on in the City game and was brilliant. It's not as though he's been bad all season. It was one bad game. And suddenly, after 12 months of consistent quality, and the knives were out. And I know this will trigger a lot of rival fans of Man United when I say this, but there is no scrutiny like Manchester United scrutiny. So for me, my standout player is a breakthrough player this year. And it's a young man who'd not kicked the ball professionally, who led his team to an FA Cup final. One of the, maybe I need to get this double checked, but I believe he's the youngest player ever to score the winning goal and get the man of the match award in an FA Cup final. And that is massive. So yeah, for me, I've gone with Kobbie Mainoo.
I love that. One just came to me as you're describing who he's going to pick. He just came to my head, and he's had a phenomenal year, and he's deserved all the awards that he got this year. And that's Ademola Lookman. If I'm going outside of Europe, Ademola Lookman.
Outside of England, you mean? Outside of England,
outside of England. Sorry, outside of England. He is Nigerian, so there's that. But yeah, outside England.
Oh, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Phenomenal year. Absolutely beautiful. He carried it. He didn't win the AFCON, but carried his nation to the AFCON. I know that was that last year, but he's been riding that wave. Won the Europa League, won African Player of the Year, keeps scoring goals in important games. Scores a hat trick in a final. Come on, hat trick in a European final. Yep. He's been brilliant as well, and he is so close to a big move. If Man United put in a bid and we tried to sign him, I'm not upset.
Do you know what I like about Lookman? He was a Premier League player for a number of years. He went away, he came back, and he was just not a player that anyone looked at and went, yeah, I want to invest in him. I would love to have a conversation with him and say, did you change anything? Sort of go back 2 or 3 years to your mid-20s, 24, 25 years old. He's 27 now. What did you change? What have you done differently? I would love to know if there's something he's checked. It might be a basic thing. I started eating better foods and going to bed 2 hours earlier. I started following the Bible versus going out with the lads. It could be something religious. It could be something dietary. It could be something fitness-wise. Maybe he's like, do you know what I started doing? I started finishing training, and instead of going out with my friends or going home and playing FIFA, I went to the gym and did 2 hours of weights every day. Or I don't know what the answer is, but I would love to know. Because I feel like something fundamental has changed in him. Like he had a good loan spell at Leicester, but maybe it was just he finding he was maturing. But I'd love to know, in that period of maturing, what did he start to do differently? As you say, he's been amazing. A hat-trick in the European final. He's having a phenomenal season this year, though. 12 goals in 20 games. Atalanta, I haven't checked, but they were top of the league last time I looked. They might still be there now. Phenomenal season for him. So, yeah, he's a great shout for, again, he isn't a kid in his first season, but it's what he's doing at 26, 27 is brilliant. It really, really is.
Especially
it's great to
being
see.
road off as well. Crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Bum for working. He could have just sailed off into. You see so many players leave the Prem who had hype, didn't achieve anything, and then you go, oh, where's he gone now? And you realize he's been at this club in Turkey for 4 years and he's made 17 appearances, and you just think, hey, you've gone out there taking the money, you're not fit often, you're living a life, but you're done. I love what he has done. Viewers, we'd love to get your view on who your player is. Let us know in the comments below. Third question. Best achievement. What has been the best achievement, the most remarkable achievement in your eyes in 2024?
I was thinking about this. Where should I go with it? And then I remembered something from the summer. And I don't think it's been matched before. I don't think we'll ever see anything like this ever again. But my best achievement is Spain. Not just Spain, the footballing nation of Spain. Because this year, they won almost everything that they can win. They won the women's under 17 Euros, the women's under 19 Euros. They won the Women's Conference League. They won the Olympics, men's under 19 Euros, the women's Euros, the men's Euros, and then they also had Real Madrid win the Champions League and Barcelona won the Women's Champions League. For a nation, that is ridiculous. I've never seen it.
Domination in the location. Yeah, that's crazy.
Hold tight, man. That is domination.
That is crazy.
And we've seen like the men's like a nation's men's team do good, or maybe a nation's youth team do good a year, or the women's team do. I've never seen a nation's youth team, men's team, women's team, and one of their domestic teams dominate, or technically two of their domestic teams dominate every competition. That for me, you know what, that beats anything.
And do you know what's interesting? When it comes to like the men's at the Euros, they weren't even a team being fancied in the beginning because of how poor their World Cup was. So to do it, it's a great shout. It's a really good shout, to be fair. My first thought was Liverpool, even though they only won a Carabao Cup. And do you know what I was thinking about is the seamless transition from Klopp to Slot. I spoke about this recently. And as a fan channel, we just don't have the access to the information the mainstream media gets, and they don't do enough time on this. But I've said for about 10 years now that the way clubs in England are structured is so different to what it was forever and a day prior to that, where it used to be the manager run the club was built in the manager's image for as long as they're at the football club. And I feel that the way Liverpool, the way City, the way a lot of these teams operate now, it's you build a club structure, a club identity, a club vision, sporting director runs that, and the head coach or the manager, whatever the title they get, comes in and coaches the first team. Yes, they have an input and a say, and they align with that philosophy as well. But the club and its process, if you want to call it that, I know people hate that word, lives beyond that manager. And we haven't seen Pep leave City yet. We haven't, Arsenal have just been building this for 5 years. We haven't seen any of the big teams in the Prem build this structure yet and then move on to another coach. And we've seen Liverpool do it from Klopp to Slot, and they look even better. But then I thought it's a little premature because let's see what happens in the back end of the season. If they go on to win multiple trophies, and they're probably going to get best achievement from me next year because it isn't just the winning, it's a seamless transition. And Liverpool would have proven that the club-based model is better in the long term for you than a manager model. And I say that, and again, we might not know the full answers to that for another 20, 30 years, but you look at Liverpool having great teams in the 70s and 80s, but then prior to that and after it, going long periods without any kind of domination. Maybe the way forward when you're one of the big teams is like, maybe there's a reason that Real Madrid and Barca have stayed at the top for so long, because it's a club. It's always been a club system, and you just, everything keeps running as normal. You just bring in a new head coach. But I couldn't give it to them. I had to give it to Man City. And I gave it to Man City because a 4-peat is unprecedented in English football history. A 4-peat is very unlikely to ever be done again. And look, we've seen Fergie do 2 3-peats, which is a massive achievement in itself. We've seen Fergie do trebles, City do trebles. We've seen Liverpool win doubles, and we've seen teams go back-to-back Champions Leagues, like Nottingham Forest as an example. There have been loads of great teams in English football history. The 4-peat is unique in itself. It makes this City team one of the greatest in English football history. So I give it to them from a Premier League standpoint. As much as it pains me to give them the credit, you can't deny it. It's an amazing achievement. I would never do that. So fair play to them. Viewers, give us your thoughts, feelings, and your opinions below in the comments section. A shout out for that as well. I was also thinking Brighton and their continuous, and this is why I look at Liverpool and go, I thought it was going to work. Brighton are able to do what Liverpool are doing now, but to a lower extent because they don't have the budget and the money to buy or keep the best players in the world. But it does work when you get it done right. What was your favorite and most memorable game in 2024? Which one stands out to you? And viewers, listen, there could end up being bias in this because, of course, you're all going to think about the game that made you feel the happiest. So it's likely to involve your team. But what was the match for you, bruv?
Okay, so the way that you pose this to me. I can go. I've got two answers. First one, for my own bias, would be obviously the FA Cup final. Winning that was amazing. Winning the final is always good. The fact that Garnacho and Manu scored both of our goals to win that is just going to be something special. Because I don't think we've never had it where it's like two teenagers scored in a final and that team goes on to win the final as well. So that was a special game. But for overall, I also thought about it for the neutral. I think for the most entertaining game overall in 2024, I can't believe it, was it Chelsea and Man United with the 4-3. Chelsea win. Because as a neutral, obviously I hated it. I hated that moment because that was awful. Yeah. But as a neutral, seeing it go from 2-0 or 3-2 to 4-3 in the matter of just
being 3-2 up, 2-0 down, back to 2-2, 3-2 up, and then to concede 2 goals in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. So for a neutral, I think that would probably be the best game. But as a United fan,
that was amazing. Listen, I agree with your FA Cup shout. Again, that's from a very biased point of view. The England semi-final against the Netherlands is another one where I think, because of what that kind of meant to us. Best game for me that I enjoyed it. Again, United FA Cup final will be my number one, but you've said it, so I'm going to throw another one in there, which I thought was a crazy game, a weird game. Was this so far this season? Was when Man City hosted Arsenal, and they start like a freight train City, go 1-0 up. Haaland scored just after everybody was like, Haaland don't score against our centre backs, and he scores. And then you sort of think to yourself, Arsenal could be in trouble here. And they fight their way back into the game. Calafiori scores a banger. Of course, they score from a corner, and you're like, they're going to do it, Arsenal. They're going to win. They get another red card for the kicking the ball away stuff. And then you just see this second half, which I've never seen before. Literally attack versus defense. Arsenal defended like lions until the last kick of the game. City equalize. Haaland throws the ball at Gabriel's head. Then he tells Haaland, the manager, to be humble. And I just thought, again, because I was not emotionally involved in that game, neither team's mine, I could just sit back and sort of enjoy the spectacle. That stands out. The problem is with Man United games, as much as I enjoy them if we win, if I think back to the matches, I'm such a nervous wreck. I don't really... The only United games I ever enjoy is if and when we batter teams, and we rarely do that in the last 18 months. If we're 3-0 up at half-time, go 4-0 up early, then I can sit back and enjoy a game. Man United matches are always so tense for me. But yeah, that match really stood out to me as just... It wasn't the highest level of quality game. It was just so fucking weird. It was strange. Again, it didn't happen this year. If we were doing this last year, it would have been the Chelsea Spurs game where Spurs took the lead, got the red card, stayed on the halfway line. Just crazy. Weird. A crazy. Some people might even pick Man United Spurs this season as just a weird in the Carabao Cup. That would be the best game stroke moments for me of 2024. Viewers, but we'd love to get yours. Now, KJ, what I would like from you though now is a few predictions for the upcoming year. So obviously you can't pick what the best achievement's going to be because you don't know unless you want to predict someone doing a treble. But who's the player that you think over 2025 is going to cement themselves, surprise people, shock people, but leave the next calendar year as, he was one of the guys, he was him. Who's that person for you?
You know what? He's probably already seen as one of the guys, but he's not. He's still to this day, and I don't understand, he still has detractors on his name, like he's some mid-scrub footballer. But in 2025 will be the year of acceptance. And that is Mo Salah.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
With some of the greatest players to grace this Premier League. What he's been doing at his age as well, we gotta remember, he's like 31, 32. He's playing like he is still 27. And you know what? from a technical level, if you want to get serious, from a technical level, he's gotten better with age. The assists that he's making, the goals that he's scoring, he is aged like fine wine, and he's no longer. I don't think he's no longer the same relentless Mo Salah who could just run and run and run at your defense. But he's a lot smarter now. He knows where to be at the right times. He knows the correct pass to make to get an assist. And obviously, he's clutch, man. Like, you look at a team like Arsenal. One of the reasons why I feel like they didn't win the league is because none of their players, barring Saka at times, were clutch. Out of nowhere, bang, in that big moment when you need them the most, bang, they score, bang, they make the pass to get the assist. Mo Salah is that, and he's been doing it for years. And people need to get off man's back and accept the fact he is a great.
Do you know what's crazy? 2025, if they go on and win the Prem and the Champions League, it could be the year that he becomes the Premier League GOAT. Now, I don't want him to be. I want a Man United player to be considered the best ever in the Prem. Of course I do. But I actually think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think this really could be Salah's year in terms of where he gets the flowers that he deserves. Aside from Mo Salah, the players, like Mo Salah is obviously one of them that kind of stands out there as an individual. I was thinking hard about this, and I was looking at Caicedo at Chelsea, and I was thinking, we already rate him as very, very good. Most people say he's been the best DM in the league in this last year. But when people say best midfielder, they're putting it down to DM. I've got a feeling over the course of the next 12 months, Caicedo could cement himself as the best central midfield player in the Premier League. Could be the best, and it's not DM, not box to box, not attacking. He's the best midfielder, which is a hard achievement because those three midfielders do very different jobs. But you get it with Rodri. Rodri was seen as just the best midfielder. If you put all things next to each other, Rodri was the guy. I've got a feeling Caicedo is going to keep getting better and better, especially in this Enzo system. So I agree with the Mo Salah thing, 100%. But look out for Caicedo and his growth, his quality, his consistency over the next sort of 12 months. This question for you and the viewers is, again, I'm going to make it open-ended because everyone wants to maybe interpret it different. What's your big prediction for a great achievement and or what you want to happen? So it can be, I think it will, or it could be something that you want to see happen in 2024. And you're a United fan, so pick one that's United and then one that's external, and viewers do the same. Pick one for your club and then one you think could happen externally at another club within the sort of top 6 range. Over to you.
Okay, so I want to get my Man United one out of the way quick so people don't accuse me of just being biased. So my big achievement that I would want to happen, that I really want to happen, is Man United winning the Europa League. We have the squad to do it. Well, actually, maybe not, but maybe not now. But we have the manager to do it. I firmly believe that Ruben Amorim is a good enough manager to win the Europa League. And looking at all the teams in the Europa League now, they're not perfect. All of us are around the same kind of level. You know, you got Spurs in there, your Galatasarays, your Fenerbahces. Like, you got all these different teams from Spain and Portugal. I think everyone's pretty much around the same level, which will make it exciting. Because I don't think there's one standout favorite in the Europa League to say, like, yeah, they're just nailed on to win it. It's not like Chelsea in the Conference League. So, yes, Man United winning the Europa League. We need that as a club. Get us back in the Champions League, get that money in, and also another trophy. But for my external achievement, and there is a little bit of Man United bias in there for this one, but I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, if Ipswich can survive the relegation battle and stay in the Premier League, I think that would be an amazing achievement. Not because do you get a trophy for surviving? No, it's not about that. But I don't think I've seen a team in my lifetime, maybe you have, or someone has, where they do back-to-back promotions from League One to Championship to Premier League and
stay
survive.
there and stay there. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, that could be a big one. That could be a real big one. I like them. I
and I like
like
Kieran
them.
McKenna as well. I think he's a very
Yeah,
young, talented
very
coach.
young, talented manager.
So yeah,
Without a doubt. Like, viewers, look, we'd love to get yours in the comment section below, and be creative with it. It could be something you want to see, like a Christmas wish. You know, your grown-up Christmas list. What would be on there? Look, when it comes, listen, this is a bold prediction from me. My first prediction is United related, but I think it will happen. This isn't what I want to happen. This is what I think will happen. So in a year's time, I might get cooked for this, but I don't care. I don't care. I've got some chest here. I can bench press, bruv. But I'm not rolling around like Two-Backer. Big up Ram. I love that nickname, Two-Backer. Brilliant. Anyway, and I've got to word this right. This time next year, we will view Ineos. We will view Sir Jim Radcliffe. We will view the Man United board and new hierarchy and the football club on the pitch in a completely different light. We won't be title contenders. We won't be looked at as one of the best teams in the world in a year's time. But I think we'll be playing good football. I think our win percentage is going to increase dramatically from what it is now. It's 4 wins out of 9 games. I think it will be, what is that? It's almost just above 40%. I think it will be nearer the 60% mark if we want to get technical. But I believe that there's a lot of stuff being said at the minute. I'm not even going to lie. I've had to bite my tongue. It's Christmas. I'm trying to stay happy. I'll give you an example of a lie that came out on Christmas Eve. A story was written yesterday on Christmas Eve that, look at the Ineos now. They've been at the club a year. Okay. It was a year ago to the day that the Glazers agreed to their proposal, but they didn't get that complete until the 21st of February. They spent the first 2.5 months, which was basically the end of the season, doing a thematic review of the business where they just sat back and watched and listened. And they didn't bring in the people to run the club because remember, Ineos don't know how to run a football club. They had to hire people until like June. But the headlines were, let's take a look at their first year and what they've done. When it was really only been 6 months. And that was a little thing for me. And it was this little, I've seen people kicking off and going crazy and going mad. Oh, they're bad. They're not good. I wish we had these owners and them owners. And it's like, please, guys, stop letting the wolf. Stop letting the wolf. Probably the fox is a better word, but stop letting the wolf or the fox in the hen cages. You know, because we're doing this weird thing at Man United where we're like, and I get the pain, I get the anger from people, but it's like you do realize these same like some people that wanted the Qataris or didn't want Sir Jim, wanted somebody else, right? Is they're jumping on all this bad news because they didn't want Sir Jim. And they're buying into it again. Yeah, almost the media's got our backs. They're printing the right stories that we need to know. And I think it's good to keep pressure on the owners. But believe you me, if we'd have got the Qatari owners and we wouldn't have cancelled the Christmas party, in fact, we stuck an extra £250,000 into it, we're going to have a £500,000 party for these brilliant staff. The same media outlets would have said, this is disgraceful. This money is coming from a country that makes its money out of oil. And we know how bad oil is for the environment. This is a country that's harboring this type of person, has these laws, treats women this way. How dare those employees drink that champagne? That champagne is blood money. That's what it would have been, right? And we know it. And this is why, listen, there's criticisms for them, but I will not side with the media. I looked at this. There is a ratio of 6-1 on the amount of articles that have been written by newspapers about Ineos compared to the Glazers. 6-1 ratio. One group's been there 2 decades. The other has been there, even if we go by their liars, has been there a year. So in a year, there is 6 times more articles have been produced about Ineos running Man United than the Glazers in 20 years. So for me, I'm backing them to a point. And if I end up with egg on my face, I can take that. I'll hold it. But for me, the amount of negative noise around them tells me that good things are going on. It tells me and listen, Newcastle and City went through this. They knew that their owners were doing good things for their club, and the media attacked it and attacked it and attacked it. It will go away eventually. As soon as you start winning, it goes away. But yeah, for me, the prediction is Man United will be seen as a wholly better run club and much better football team on the pitch in a year's time.
That is very bold. And you know what? Yeah, I would love for that to happen personally. And I feel like it will. Not to maybe to the extent that you are, but maybe I'll think that things are going to start turning around. I just personally think that the media will want us to still be bad. And people are like, oh, be crying in the comments. Oh, main
Bro,
character
of
syndrome.
course they do.
They need us. We feed their children.
You
We
know
are
what?
the reason why they
It's
got
true.
pregnant
It's
at
true.
Christmas.
It's true. And you know, it's what's so true about what you've said is when it's negative. So the story came out about the mice infect. By the way, Man United stopped scoring own goals, sort the mice out. And again, I hope this is what's crazy, right? This is what's mad. Today, what you'll get is fans going, or yesterday, and then obviously today, sitting around a Christmas table. If you're a United fan, you're gonna get bantered. I bet you've been bantered already today. Oh, you got a rat infestation. Da, 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 da. Everyone will rip into you, say it's a disgrace, say that it's disgusting. Oh my God, how bad is your hygiene? Ineos will sack the person in control of that, and then everyone will go, how dare you sack someone
at Christmas time?
Yeah, it's terrible. And this is the point. This is what I find so hypocritical. All the failing departments of the club that we get laughed at because they're embarrassing. The new owners go, right, you're being sacked for that. That's also bad. So you want us to keep in competition? It's honestly, I love it. I do love that focus. But yeah, my other wish. Now, this is going to get me a lot of shit. This is going to get me so much stick.
Oh, you know what it is, you fool. Oh.
My grown-up Christmas wish. And I need to explain it first. And I normally say what it is first.
Before you explain it,
go on.
Go to the private chat. Okay. I'm gonna do my guess.
I'm looking at the private chat.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I think you. Oh my days, man.
But before I say what it is, I listen. This is for one reason. Excuse me, I've got some of this hat in my mouth. It's it's for the carnage. It's for the carnage. Because it wouldn't impact me directly. It just wouldn't. I want to see this happen for the meltdowns internally at this football club. The adulation internally and that clash. An unstoppable object meeting an immovable object. The carnage is amazing. Then the reaction from the media, the reaction from rival fans. I love it. It's why I do this job. So for me, if Santa could grant me a wish this year, outside of what I want for my club, so please understand that, it would be Arsenal to win the league.
Exposed.
Yeah, they're going to come for me. But it's not about because I want Arsenal to win it to have the trophy. I'm not going to lie. It's the carnage. I feel that way about what I said about Ineos earlier. Like, part of me wants it because it's my club. I love the club. The other part is I just want to see the backtracking. I love and enjoy that element of what we do when a team, Hussam saying slot out day one, watching him cringe every time he praises slot now because the comment section goes mad. It's fun. But with the Arsenal thing, I just want to see what people would say, what the excuses would be, what the reaction. I think it would be cinema. It would be absolute cinema to sit back and watch it all unfold. So, yeah, if I could wish for something, and by the way, my club's not in the title race, so I'm not wishing something away from my team. I would never do that. For me, and do you know what would probably be even funnier than the league? Is if they won the Champions League.
Oh, if they won the Champions League.
It would be.
Hopes.
Yeah. Oh,
have hopes. Football heritage.
It's all for that. And I'm talking about it purely from a bunch of guys and women that sit here doing what we do with each other, talking football. It would just be fun to see for me personally. Now, again, if United were in the Champions League, if we're in the title race, of course I wouldn't wish for that because it would take something away from my team. But we ain't. So it makes no odds to me. In fact, it would stop Liverpool matching number 20 as an example. And hopefully it would definitely stop them from pulling one further ahead of us in terms of Champions Leagues. But yeah, that's what I would like. However, viewers, I can't wait to read the comments. I can't wait to see what you have said. I want to wish you all again a very, very merry Christmas. We're back tomorrow for all the Boxing Day match reactions. So listen, enjoy the time of your family and friends. Eat well, drink well, and be merry. And I will say this, if anybody is by themselves or, maybe not with family members they want to be, if they're working, whatever it may be, I hope this has been a good bit of content for you, a little bit of entertainment. Feel free to reach out there. Fancy a chat? And that can be a tough time for some people at Christmas. Just reach out. DMs are open. Comment section's open here. We can have that little chat as well. KJ, Merry Christmas to yourself, and get back to the wife and family now, because I'm sure they're missing you. And we'll see you all again tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.